Hello to everyone. My name is Cesar Alfaro, and I'm going to be talking about the food industry. Yes, food industry, but the impact of COVID-19 on the food supply chain. What about that? Well, we can remember how 2020 was. We can remember that there's a lot of confusion, a lot of people buying a lot of food in the supermarkets, a lot of restaurants closing their doors, a lot of hotels closing their doors. Well, yes, that was 2020. Talking a little bit about the pandemic is not a new event in the history of our humanity because making has faced various pandemics in history. But the common point of the pandemics are or is their serious negative effects on the global economy. In this case, considering the food supply chain, that is one of the most important sectors of the economy. It has been said that COVID-19 has an impact on the whole process because it's not just selling food or buying food, it's making it, processing it. Well, talking about the whole process from the field to the consumer, in the light of the recent challenges in the food supply chain, there is now a considerable concern about the food production, processing, and distribution, and of course, the demand. Coronavirus or COVID-19 results in the movement restrictions of workers, changes in the demand of consumers, closure of food production facilities, restricted food trade policies, and financial pressures in food supply chain. Because we can believe or we can think that the food industry is just having a restaurant, having a supermarket, and that's it. No, we're talking about making it, we're talking about moving it, and we're talking about something worldwide. So it's extremely difficult that during the 2020, during the pandemic of coronavirus, COVID-19, thinking on the industry of food, the food industry, is extremely difficult to believe or to think there is a good way to see this because it's not. There's no good way to see the food industry during 2020. Now, during the 2021, we can see how hotels, restaurants, supermarkets, they are reopening their doors. But in my personal opinion, they will need more than 1 year to recover all the losses that they have in 2020. Let's believe for hope. Let's believe for a new era after the COVID-19, and let's try to make it better this time.
Hello, my name is Laura Belinda Chacon, and I will talk about the economic impact that the street vendors and municipal market received from the current pandemic. Forced isolation around the world has put the world's 2 billion informal workers in crisis and has particularly affected street vendors, whose livelihoods depend on their presence in public space. Some cities have allowed the trade to continue, but vendors have had to make significant adjustments to their work and homes. Even in cities where they are allowed to ban, street vendors report a 90% reduction in income to reduce foot traffic. Because of the reduction in sales due to the decrease in pedestrian traffic due to pandemic restrictions, home deliveries have become quite popular, creating a source of employment for some and an opportunity to sell their product for municipal market stall owners and entrepreneurs. Also, the drop in sales increased the debts they already had with banks and lenders. Others were forced to close due to non-payment of rents for the premise, and so some decide to work for their regular customers from home with the home delivery service. Thank you.
Hi everybody, my name is Eli Alexander Flores Galeano. I will talk to you about the factories, supermarkets, and delivery growth in the year 2020. Okay, the year 2020, as you know, it was the year that COVID-19 arrived to our lives. So the people was ordered to stay at home and don't go out because you can get the sickness of COVID-19. So the market revenue has increased to 204% in the past 5 years, powered by the introduction of platform to customer services. This platform to customer is the apps, right? So the last year, many people was creating new apps, new delivery services. So did the this amazing growth was because the epidemic, right? The COVID-19. So people don't who don't want to go outside to buy medicines or food, any kind of uh, necessary shoppings or things. They only go to the app, Play Store, App Store. They only download the app and they can search what they need, and the delivery service got to the home, so they will not need to go to the supermarkets personally. You can buy it by the application or by internet. Customer service such as DoorDash, Uber Eats, and Postmates, which are able to provide a wider selection of restaurants and food types. Sometimes people buy medicines or many kind of food. One famous was the medicines because was a year that everyone needs pills or alcohol masks. So to don't get exposed, they use the service of delivery. Okay, so thanks.
Good night. I am Alfredo Sanchez, and today I am going to try to do about the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic in 2020 in the pharmaceutical sector. The pharmaceutical industry plays a major role in healthcare system around the world. It is made up of large government or private organizations that dedicate its effort to study, discover, develop, and make drugs for human and animal health rights consumers. The COVID-19 pandemic is one of the most serious challenges humanity has faced in recent times. What is total cost in human life may be is still unknown. Simultaneously, with the loss of life and the profound health crisis, the war in witnessing an economic collapse that will severely impact the well-being of large segments of the population in the coming years is in general terms. With respect to pharmacy can be said to be one of the less items since most of the resources be invested in the purchase of goods, medical supplies, good safari equipment, rapid test supplies, and other resources that will guarantee the health of patients. Perhaps they had to devise them and start with a new way of working, where the patient is not aware for their medicines, but has them aware of the door of their house. Perhaps it already existed, but with the pandemic, this delivery goal was implemented even more at home. This according to how clear I was aware to investigate since there is not much information of the internet. Thanks. Good listen.
Hello, my name is Valeria Ordóñez. COVID-19 economic impacting in private clinics in Honduras. The hospital infrastructure in health center is deficient. The services are not of the required quality of compared some public centers they from the beginning of the last century and require heavy investment in infrastructure and equipment to provide service in optimal condition and free of reach. Expensive in private clinics. Patients with coronavirus can spend more than 50,000 lempiras in less than and with one treatment. Consult medical professionals have made keynote to progress digital and home visits have increased considerably in the last 5 months and it is a good option for patients since they are treatment in the comfort of their home. The prices of the consultation can be between 500 and 1,200 per visit. Speaking of general medicine, many professionals are considered the recurrent situation and usually attend to people they know, friends, or the same family, so that the price of the consultation can be relatively comfortable, but no one escapes the heavy costs and drugs. Recommendability for patients.
Sector transportation. Transportation in Honduras and situation with respect to COVID effect and the much to say with the slip from buses, taxi, airplane flight, the transport policy will affect in an economy way second in country to quarantine when increased so I to possibly stop I will have taxis, retail public and private transportation with paralyzed international level not only in city until two classes over of taxis were increased by with the depot that is serving only one person and possible select destination where they were not undergoing the to place where possible point victim on high barriers that impacting from a country a transport sector.
Hi, my name is Alison Piroña. I am going to talk to you about the hopes, loves, and hopes created in the COVID-19 pandemic. In the first half of 2020, the equivalent of 400 million full-time jobs were lost due to the COVID-19 crisis and figure far higher than previously estimated. There was a 14% decline in working hours globally, according to the International Labour Organization. The most affected areas were transportation, health professionals, manufacturing and productive industry workers, salespeople of personnel. But new hubs were created in the process, such as Manufacturers of masks and protective goggles increased demand for delivered bribes internet sales. Manufacturing of COVID-19 protective equipment. Manufacturers and installers of protective charles. Thank you for your attention.